Hey guys, this is Kelsey with Kelsey Freeman Photography, and I am so excited to show you guys how these presets work. I've got a new collection out. So anyway, I am going to be showing you guys how to edit some outside pictures as well as some indoor newborn pictures, but you can use these for any kind of indoor studio edits. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So they're super, super easy to use. Like presets are so crazy easy. Basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the preset that I want to run. I'm just going to click on it. It's going to do the edit for me. And then if I want to come in and do any tweaks to it, I most certainly can. I typically do a few tweaks here and there. A lot of people think presets are one click and done, and a lot of times they are, but sometimes, depending on lighting and colors, you may need to do a few things here and there to your picture. So one thing I like to do is just to check my color balance, as well as like my brightness on the picture as well. So right now it's showing as shot. This is the white balance that I shot at. So I like to typically click auto, and it will kind of give me a nice, clean, automatic white balance edit. Sometimes Lightroom doesn't do the best job. Sometimes it does a great job. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lower my temperature a little bit more. And I'm going to keep the tint the same. And then the only other thing I want to do is just bring out the exposure just a little. So right about there looks pretty good to me. And you see we've got this awesome before and after, and it was so easy. So I'm going to just kind of go through a few of these so you guys can see how the different tweaks you can do and things like that to these presets. So I'm going to click on Adley right here, and honestly, I don't know that I want to do anything to this. I think this is pretty perfect as is, and I also really like this black and white on this image as well. I have 3 different black and whites for outside, and then I also have 3 different black and whites for studio indoor pictures. So anyway, I really like this black and white for that image as well. So let's move on to this one. I really wanted to do somewhat of a moodier type edit. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on Nostalgia and Brighten. I've got, for every preset, all of my outdoor ones, I have a base edit, and then you have Brighten if you want to brighten it up, and then you can also darken it if you have like a really bright picture, midday, full sun, anything like that. The darken's going to be really good for. So anyway, I'm going to do Brighten on this picture, and I don't think I want to do anything to it. So this picture, I'm going to do a few tweaks. So if you guys want to see how to do tweaks, keep watching. I am going to run August, and I really love the colors in this. And as far as the white balance, I'm going to keep that the same, but I am going to up my exposure just a little to brighten it up. And then I want to make it pop a little bit. So I'm going to bring up my contrast a little, and then I'm going to come down to my blacks, and I'm going to lower those a good bit, and it's really going to give me a nice, good pop. And then the last thing I want to do is add a little bit more color back into it. So the saturation is at -21. I'm just going to bring this up to about -16 just to add a little bit more color. So let me show you guys the before and after here. I really love that. It's a super happy, fun edit. And this one I want to go with more of a warm tone because this is like a fall picture. So I'm going to run Lena. And the white balance, I'm going to keep the same. I am going to bring up the exposure just a little. And then I want to bring down my blacks just a tad, just to kind of make it pop a little bit. But let me show you that before and after. So I really, really love Lena. It is one of my favorites. I just love the brown tones you can get from it. Now this one, this was a fun, spunky senior session, and I kind of want to do a bit of a different edit on it. So I'm going to do Moonwake. It's a really awesome preset to give you some cool different colors and vibes going on. So I am going to tweak the white balance. So where it says as shot, I'm going to click on auto, and it's going to give me a base white balance edit. And so now I'm going to bring my white balance up to where I really want it. So I'm going to just keep on coming until I'm happy with how it looks. I want it a little more on the warm side, so maybe right about there. And then it's a little green for my liking, so I'm going to bring my tint on the magenta side, so maybe right about there or so. And then let me bring up my exposure. And I think that is pretty awesome. So here is the before and after of this one. I just love the colors and the way it pops. And then we can also do, I want to show you guys too, this kind of moody black and white edit on this picture as well. I just love it. We've got some grain. It adds some texture. So there's the before and after on this picture. Let's move on to this little cutie pie over here. And so what I'm going to run on this one is August. I'm going to click August, and you see it already gives me a great edit. And then I'm just going to warm it up just a smidge. So I'm just going to come over here and bring up the warmth slider just a little. And then I'm just barely going to make it a little more on the magenta side. I'm going to brighten it a little just to kind of make it pop a tad. And then let's see, let me add a little bit more contrast here. And then if I wanted to, I might add a little bit more saturation back to this picture. But let me show you guys the before and after. So cute. And you see how easy it is to run through and edit these pictures? It's like so crazy easy. So this one I'm going to run Brindley on. I love Brindley. It makes me so happy. It's soft and sweet. And I'm just going to bring my warmth down just a little because it's a little bit on the warm side for me. And then I'm going to up my magentas, just bring my tint over to the magenta side a little bit. And I think I want to bring my blacks down just a tad, just to really kind of make it pop. I really love sliding my blacks down. It finishes a picture so nicely for me. So let me show you guys the before and after on that one. I just love the colors so much. And let's do this little guy. Let's do a little bit of a moody edit. This one I'm going to run Adley. So I'm going to click on Adley, and you see it's going to do the edit for me. So easy. The only thing is the way the lighting was, the highlights are a little bit harsh here. So I'm actually going to come over to white, and I'm going to lower those whites a little bit just to soften it up a little bit. But let me show you guys the before and after. I love the moody browns of this so much. And then the last outdoor edit I'm going to do, I'm going to run Holland. So I'm going to click on Holland right here. And as far as the white balance goes, I like it. It's perfect. I'm going to bring up the exposure just a little bit. And then I'm going to bring up my contrast. I just really want to make it pop a little bit. And then I'm going to bring down my blacks too a good bit, just to really add some drama. So maybe right about there. So let me show you guys that before and after. I love the warmth. Makes me so happy. So those are some really quick outside edits. Now let's move on over here to the indoor newborn stuff. So I'm going to reset this back to how it was. Now, this picture is a little bit on the dark side, but not a problem. We can easily fix that. So I've got down here at the bottom, I have these little studio edits right here, and then you've also got some studio black and whites. You can use these for newborns or indoor maternity, mini sessions, cake smash, I mean really anything that you do indoor. And I mean you can use any of these other presets indoors as well, but these are specifically for using inside. What I'm going to run on this one, this sweet little baby, I'm going to run Sweet Cream, and I'm going to bring up the exposure quite a bit because it's pretty dark. So I'm going to bring it up right about there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my white balance to auto and let Lightroom kind of do the work for me. And that's that. That is that edit. It is so easy, and I just love the colors. They make me so happy. This one is just precious. Now, this one was taken outdoors, but because the rest of the session is inside, you would want to keep it consecutive. So I would use the same presets that I'm using indoor for the outdoor and just tweak it as need be. So anyway, what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to do Rustic. And I just love the colors here. I'm going to keep really everything the same. I'm not going to tweak my white balance or anything. I think that's pretty perfect. So I'm going to leave that. And then let's move on to this one. This one is so cute. Oh, and in case you guys are wondering, these have not been edited in Photoshop yet. So none of the skin blemishes or anything like that have been taken care of. So just don't mind that. These are just strictly raw, opened up into Lightroom. So next up on this one, I am actually going to go ahead and up my exposure. So maybe right about there. And then what I'm going to run on this one is Rosie. I just think that's so sweet. Everything else can stay the same. So you guys see the before and after here. It's just so precious. Now this one is like, oh, she is so cute. Look at her. I can't handle her. I am going to run Rosie as well on this one. And I am going to change the white balance because it's a little bit on the warm side. I'm going to change it to auto. And that is a done deal for that picture. I think that is so cute. Now, I love this shot. Oh, my goodness. This one is gorgeous. So what I'm going to run on this one, I'm going to run Rustic. I think Rustic is going to be a really good fit for this picture. I do just want to tweak my white balance 'cause it's a little bit on the warm side. So I'm going to make it a little bit cooler here, so maybe right about there. And everything else can kind of stay the same. So here is the before and the after. It's just a nice brown type of edit for indoor shoots without going like crazy overboard. Now this one is just precious. And this one, the highlights are a little... they're a little bright for this picture, so the preset that I'm going to use for this one is really going to like even it out in such a nice way and give it such a soft look. So I'm going to run Snuggles, and then I'm going to change my white balance. It's a little warm, so I'm going to bring it on down just a tad, and let me do probably 9. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to bring my exposure up just a little bit. So maybe right about there. Let me show you guys that before and after. So you see it like made this picture so soft and sweet. I just love it. And a lot of times, you know, when you're shooting indoors and you're using, whether you're using natural light or using studio light, you know, it's important to get those shadows going on, but you can also get some brighter highlights here and there. And that's what these are for, is to also really help tame those highlights and make the pictures just really kind of soft for newborn pictures, which is kind of what you want. So this picture right here, I'm going to run Angel. I don't think I've done that one yet on one of these newborn pictures. This one is just so subtle and sweet. I'm not going to change anything else. Let me show you the before and after. So cute. And then let's do, I think we've got a few more here. So again, remember these have not been edited in Photoshop or anything, so just don't mind that. We're purely looking at all the colors here. So for this one, I'm going to run Sweet Cream. It's probably one of my favorites for these newborn pictures. I'm not going to do anything to it. I think that is awesome, and I love those colors. So next up, let's do this little guy. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. But I do want to make this more of like a soft kind of color. So I'm going to do Sweet Cream on this one too, and I'm just going to bring up the exposure a good bit. So right about there, let's do. And let me show you guys the before and after here. I love it's so soft and sweet. And then obviously once you do this, you know, you could export and open up into Photoshop and tweak the skin and tweak the background and all of that. So this is just for, you know, working on colors and such. And then lastly, we've got this cute little picture. Oh my goodness, I can't handle it. I'm going to do Snuggles on this one, and I am going to tweak the white balance a little bit. So I'm going to make it a good bit cooler because it just looks a little warm to me. So I'm going to make it a little bit cooler, and I'm going to bring the greens out just a tad. And that's pretty good. Let me show you guys the before and after. Ta-da! So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I think this video was a little longer than I meant for it to be. But anyway, this is the newest preset pack that I am releasing. I have not come up or announced the name quite yet. So just look out for the newest preset pack that I'm going to be releasing. Indoor, outdoor, I've got all sorts of options for whether you have a overcast day or a super dark session or you're shooting full day sun. So anyway, I hope you guys can check them out, and I hope you enjoyed this little editing video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.